guys, so now I'm going to move on to directors for anime movies. Now, for this, rather than with the cartoon movies where you could go, where I said it could be either animated or live action, for this, I'm going to go a little interesting and say because we all know, for some reason, Hollywood has this obsession with making live action adaptations of animes. So, and we all know there hasn't been a lot of good ones. Let's face it, I can't find a good one out of all of them that have come out. But, however, if you got these directors into a live-action movie, I would say I would give it a look. And depending on the actors. So, let's kick this off with, of course, you can see right here, Hellsing. Now, Hellsing is one of my favorite animes, and the guy I'd really like to direct it is Neil Marshall. Now, if you don't know who Neil Marshall is, totally cool, but he's a very diverse actor, but he's best known for two movies. He's known for The Descent, which is a very well-known horror movie, and my personal favorite werewolf movie, Dog Soldiers. Seriously, that movie is fucking awesome. He's also directed other things, but he's also recently directed an episode of Game of Thrones, which is the episode Blackwater, which is the huge, big war scene for those who have watched Game of Thrones like I have. I think he'd be perfect in a Hellsing movie. He says he likes to be a diverse actor, but he's very well known for doing a lot of horror stuff, and Hellsing is a very horror anime, but it's also it's a very well-known action anime as well. It's a very cool shoot-'em-up anime, and it can be gory, and if it's one thing Neil Marshall's known for, he knows how to play up the gore. This man knows how to make a gory movie. I think he'd be really good at it. I think he'd have a very good character direction. And let's face it, Hellsing is, like I said, he is very good at gore. Hellsing is very gory. I think this is very good. He's also good at defining supernatural movies. He's done a werewolf movie, so I'd really like to see him do a vampire movie as well. I'd really like to see how he would tackle a vampire movie, as well as I think he'd give it a very dark and unique twist to it, but still have that action element as well. So I think Neil Marshall would be a very good pick, and plus, I don't really normally pick actors because I suck at casting, and even all these directors, these are just fan casts that I think would go well. They'll probably never happen, but I think if I could pick any actor to play Alucard, my pick would be Karl Urban. The reason I say that is because I watched Priest, and even though I didn't like Priest, Karl Urban was the coolest thing in that movie, playing the villain, and he had this cocky, very aggressive attitude, and he always looked down on everyone. I'm like, this Karl Urban could play a good Alucard, but that's just me. I mean, if you got a better pick out there for Alucard, I don't know. Like I said, I am terrible with fan picks, with fan casting. So anyway, they've had a Hellsing live action movie, which was supposed to come out, but they kind of canned the project, excuse me. But if they revisited, I'd say get Neil Marshall on to direct this. Alright, so next up is Black Lagoon. Now, who would I get to direct a Black Lagoon live-action movie? Joe Carnahan. Joe Carnahan, most of you guys would know him as such movies as The Grey, The A-Team, and, of course, my favorite movie from him, Smokin' Aces. Yeah, he's the guy who directed Smokin' Aces. So, I would definitely like to get this guy to direct Black Lagoon. This is a guy who really knows how to do these dark, gritty, manly movies. Like, all of his movies are pretty manly. So, and Black Lagoon has sexy women, explosions, guns, and character development. That's what I give Joe Carnahan. He could have gone the route of Michael Bay, but this guy actually has honest-to-God character development in his movies, and Black Lagoon, as much as a bloody anime as it has some honest-to-God great character moments. So, yeah, Joe Carnahan. I mean, go watch Smokin' Aces, then go watch Black Lagoon, and just say, man, that guy would be good for directing a live-action Black Lagoon movie. I think he would knock it out of the park. I think he's the perfect choice. I would have said Tarantino, but I don't think Tarantino would be... Even though this is a fan cast, I honestly believe that Quentin Tarantino would not be interested in doing a licensed project. I think he enjoys doing more of his own stuff. And totally respectable. But that's why a lot of people would say, oh yeah, Quentin Tarantino. And a lot of the anime, the creator has said that a lot of the anime was based off of Tarantino's work, but I don't think Quentin Tarantino would actually direct this movie. That's why I went with Joe Carnahan, because his style is very close to Black Lagoon as well. So, that's my reasoning for Joe Carnahan. I hope I'm saying that last name right. Yeah, Joe Carnahan. Again, I'm hoping to say that name right. So that's my reason of why I'd pick him. Alright, so this one is for Ghost in the Shell. Now, for the director I have in mind is a long shot. Even though he's a great director, I don't know how he would take this. So, my pick for a director for a Ghost in the Shell live-action movie would be Christopher Nolan. Let me explain. I think this is right up Christopher Nolan's alley. He delves into the psychological aspect, and there is a lot of psychological work, even though Major Motoko Kusanagi is a very machine character. She's kind of conflicted in some ways. This is also a very good spy movie, and Nolan has gone on and on about how he wants to do a James Bond movie. So, in some aspects, he'd be doing another Bond-like film, even though it's not Bond. And still, I think Nolan's also unique look of how he likes to his unique camera angles and direction. I think it would fit very well with Ghost in the Shell. Plus, I think he could really delve into the whole, man and where does the human begin and the machine end kind of aspect as well. I really think he could do a very good job at tackling that as well. So, I think Christopher Nolan would be a very good addition and pick to this movie. Again, but this is kind of a gamble because, I mean, yeah, he's done Inception, he's done the Dark Knight trilogy, he's done The Prestige, and a lot of other movies that I just freaking love, but he hasn't really done anything like super sci-fi, and Ghost in the Shell is very super sci-fi, so I'm kind of at a stretch and a gamble with this one, but in that regard of why I think Nolan would be good at Ghost in the Shell, I'd say let him have it just to see what happens. Okay, so next up is Cowboy Bebop. Who would I get to direct a live-action Cowboy Bebop, which they've still tried to get out of the water? My pick would be Shane Black. Shane Black, who's directed Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and he's going to be directing the upcoming Doc Savage film, and of course, he's going to be directing Iron Man 3. Woohoo! Now, the reason I say Shane Black is because he is very dialogue-heavy, he's very character-driven, and he can also do some cool action scenes. Again, this is kind of a gamble, and I might take this back, saying that Shane Black should direct a Cowboy Bebop live-action movie if I don't like Iron Man 3. I'm still on the fence about it. I mean, I like what I've seen so far, but we haven't seen the movie so far. So if I walk out of there going, man, he kind of dropped the ball on that, I'd kind of take my thing back on that. But he's also, Shane Black is apparently signed on to he was apparently signed on to direct a Death Note live-action movie for the U.S., but I think that got dropped. I don't know if that's still in the works. Could someone inform me? But I think he's very open to the idea of doing licensed stuff. I can't wait to see. I really want to see how he would tackle the science fiction aspect of Cowboy Bebop. But I think in terms of characterization and storytelling, I think Shane Black would be perfect for the Cowboy Bebop a live-action Cowboy Bebop movie. So, in that regard, that's why that's just my opinion so far. So let's move on.